loves to hand wrestle. It's really adorable. To be chosen by Peanut makes me feel very special. From the get-go, he just said, I'll take those two right there. That'll be my life.
Brian and I went to walk down to the local ice cream shop, and we heard these little feet and this little squirrel's running at us with no fear. So I thought, well, he'll go back home if we keep walking and find his mom. We tried to walk away. He just wasn't taking no for an answer. He had a limp. We were really worried that we wasn't going to make it.
We just offered him our hands, and he crawled right in.
We literally knew nothing when we got him.
So we figured out how to make formula. He sucked down 3 bottles and then fell asleep on my chest. I was so in love with him at that moment. The very next day, he was just totally like, you're my new family. We began raising him up.
I was like, don't fall in love too much. We're gonna release him.
Because he was so comfortable with us, we kept trying to teach him how to squirrel. He get all tucked away. How to hide nuts and build a nest, like climb and jump. He had a real hard time.
A lot of squirrels sort of mark where they're going and they go there. I mean, he'll jump and he doesn't quite make it.
Like, what was the plan there, buddy?
So he sort of just leaps and expects us to catch him. And he would grab nuts and he would hide them in my hair. We then started like letting him go, and we released him 3 times. And all 3 times he just got his butt kicked by the other squirrels. He was very stunned. We finally realized Peanut's different.
He's never gonna be full squirrel.
It's very much like having a toddler. When he's inside, we're constantly having to follow him around. What's he getting into? Making sure he's okay. Has his balanced diet.
He has those personality quirks of a cat. Very curious, very playful.
So he does his hops. He does what we call the can opener move, which is where he grabs your hand and then he flips over it.
I didn't know that these little animals had this capacity for love.
We would pet him and we'd press our noses to his nose.
He'll run right up my arm sometimes and just boot me on the nose and run away. It's just amazing. I built him this 3-story squirrel condo, and the very first night, he grabbed my finger and tried to pull me inside of it with him. And I was like, buddy, I'm not gonna fit there. He'd follow me around like a little puppy, and I'd stop and he'd lay flat on my feet. I have a hard time falling asleep unless I say goodnight to him first. I sometimes describe him as thoughtful because he sits on the balcony and he watches the sunset. And sometimes I'll just hold my hand up and we hold hands while watching the sunset. I don't know the last time I watched a sunset. You get busy, you stop looking at stuff. It's a great reminder of paying attention to the world around you.
I think he makes me slow down. He's Xanax in squirrel form. Like if I'm having a stressful day, he just really teaches me how to sort of put things in perspective. After you rescue one, then the word gets out. People would say, hey, there's a squirrel here and what to do. And we nurse it back to health. We found larger rehabbers, so we send them off and they get turned loose. We had a group of 6 and we went and released them on this farm.
That was our first release that we took all the way ourselves through. It was just a very filling experience. They were in their first tree.
He changed our lives completely. He opened up our world. We had something that needed us in a bigger way. It's just given our lives a bigger purpose.
It's been a whole awakening of something I didn't know I needed.